Hi guys!
Hello.
Welcome to the Dive In Pod. My name is Sheila.
My name is Lydia.
Thank you so much guys for supporting us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching our videos. We love you. We appreciate your support. We see your messages on Instagram, on YouTube comment section. Thank you so much.
Can I just say this? Someone actually stopped me yesterday. I was in Kirawi. Someone stopped. I didn't tell you this.
No.
Someone stopped me.
like-
Oh, I didn't tell you this. This is nice. I didn't tell her this. Someone stopped me yesterday. A young guy stopped me yesterday. And he was like, hi, I think I know you from somewhere. And I was like, you know this Kenyan men like saying, I know you from somewhere. And I said, oh, where do you know me from? And then he said, I watch your videos on YouTube. And I just wanted to say you guys are doing a good job. So, wherever you are, thank you so much for letting us know.
Yeah. Oh, that's so encouraging. Thank you so much for subscribing, for hitting that notification bell so you don't miss out on the videos as we drop them. You know, we are trying to be every Friday, 3 p.m.
Yeah. Premier Gang.
Premier Gang, yeah. Thank you. We see you. So guys, today we are going to be talking about a topic that is very broad, but you know, we'll try and narrow it down. What are we talking about, Lydia?
We're talking about the expectations in terms of partnerships, like in a relationship, like what our parents were expecting of each other and versus what we're expecting of our partners now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
I hope you got the drift.
Yes, we do.
So,
Let's dive right in. Okay, guys. This topic is just, you know, interesting. Interesting in a way that we can compare.
the difference is so real.
Yes, isn't it? And it's
very
just
real.
massive. Like there's a big rift now.
Very.
What used to happen before versus what is happening now.
Yeah.
I think the first one would be stability.
Right.
This is how I would put it.
Okay.
Back in the day, our parents, you know, used to marry. You know, you want to get married to a partner who is stable, or you know, like someone who, you know, who can look after you.
Who can take care of you?
Someone who can take care of you and your children and stuff like that. But now people want someone who, you know,
Partnership too.
or even people just want someone who is financially stable, like someone who has money. You know, I feel like back in the day there was a chance of this person, you know, there's hope, right? There's potential. This person is growing. This person is studying,
Exactly.
you know, and stuff like that. But even Lydia, thinking about it, you know, my mom used to say to me, nothing mattered back in the day other than getting married. Like people just wanted to get, especially girls, like it was so important. Like, you know, when you get to your 22s, you need to either elope or you are with someone, you know, and very few of actually my mom's age mates like didn't get married or stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's important to note that. Like it was so important. Well, compared to now.
Now, I think right now, people just, there are women who are rich. They just want
Nothing.
partnership.
Yeah.
Like, just to know
Like they
you are
don't-
here.
Yeah.
Okay, you are here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like they don't want anything in their partner.
Exactly.
Like they just either like you for who you are.
That's it.
Or
It's just companionship, you know? Yes, like, of course, back in the day, maybe, you know, you would want somebody for companionship, but you wouldn't just look for somebody who is just there without any potential. You want a man who is hardworking, you know, back then it was like, you know, I want a man who is hardworking because the expectations were not as, what should I say? They are not as, you know, for lack of a better word, there's so much pressure with expectation at this time, like with partners and all that. But back then, you just find a man, you'd be like, oh, you know what, this man, hey, he's been known for, he's got a very big shamba somewhere.
You can't see the end.
Yeah.
It goes down
you know,
to the river.
Yeah. And he's got a few, you know, cows here and there. And, you know, there's potential. This man can take care of you and
the children.
And the kids you have, you will not sleep hungry and all that.
Yeah.
You know, that was it. But now, people, if you are not financially stable first, you are not even qualified to be a partner.
I know.
You understand?
It is really sad because I feel like the young men who are in the stage where they are actually starting their life, obviously they're not going to be financially stable because they are starting, right? They're just building their careers, they are educating themselves, you know, they are moving up ranks at work. They just don't get that chance because maybe there's someone who's coming from a wealthy background and he's got money already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Compared to back in the day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very.
Another thing would be the reason for partnership or reason for marriage. So back in the day, marriage, I think or personally feel, was just for procreation.
Yeah.
And
Or for status.
I was about to say. Yep.
Yeah, because you know, you'd be like, you know me, I'm married, I'm a wife.
Yeah.
To the single babes, you're like, I'm a wife. Maybe you and if you have kids, you're like, yeah, I've got children.
Yeah.
And it was like a source of pride. Not to say that
It's
now
not
it's not a source of pride, it is.
Yeah.
But it's just that back then the pressure was a bit much.
Yeah.
But now people just get married for,
And they decide they don't want kids. If you
Yeah.
have to compare to back in the day. You know, back in the
Exactly.
day, you get married, you do the traditional whatever you need to do. In a year, everyone is looking like, what's happening?
Exactly.
Like, you know, like what's
Exactly.
happening? There should be a baby here. It's been 6 months. It's been 1 year.
Exactly.
Now, people just get married and, you know, they decide, no, we don't want kids. We are
Exactly.
happy. We're just going to get a dog and, you know, whatever. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different now.
It is. And also, these days, even the marriage bit
Aye.
is something to negotiate
Yeah,
these days. It's
yeah.
not an expectation.
Yeah.
Someone will be like, you know what, you're my partner, I'm your partner. Let's just live together. We don't have to label this thing
As a
and,
marriage,
you know, make it
get a
official.
certificate.
And yeah.
Yeah.
People do that too.
Yeah,
So yeah, it is
a
what
lot
it
of
is.
people actually, especially, I didn't know about like partnership until here in Australia, and I used to be like, what's like, people would not let you, because you know, my assumption was every time I saw a man and a woman, maybe the child, I'd be like, oh, is that your husband? And he'd be like, no, that's my partner. And I was like, what's partner? I actually think I asked someone, and she was like, well, a partner is someone who is you know, more than a boyfriend. You know, like if you
Yeah.
say boyfriend, it's like, you know, might not end anywhere.
Right.
But if you say partner, it's like serious. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
wow,
true.
it's like someone better than, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I think even our parents struggle to understand up to now. You know, I remember when we
True.
were in Kenya, my partner, like
Your partner? Your partner.
yeah, I know. Like my partner and I, like we would introduce ourselves. Oh hi, you know. He would introduce me like, you know, this is my partner. And I used to think, oh, these people probably like, what the
They're
hell?
confused.
That's your wife or that's your
Yeah.
husband, you know?
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Back home, it's either somebody is your wife or you are,
nothing.
I don't know.
Or
maybe
nothing.
You are,
Because girlfriend, who introduces girlfriends back home? It's like your wife or nothing.
that's
you know what I
true.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just cultural difference, and also it's time difference, because it's been how many years since our parents? Like a lot has changed, you know?
So much.
Yeah, so
So
much has
much has changed.
Yeah.
Also, back then, parents had a lot to, you know, to do with people's
A lot of
marriages.
say.
Yeah. They'd be like, you know, I met with the chief and he told me his son is available. And me, I said, you know, my daughter is available. And so, yeah, that's a thing. Like, they can just...
Finish
you know?
that marriage before both
Quick.
of you even meet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
and-
already arranged.
Yeah, it's almost like an arranged marriage. Hey, like I feel like there's a difference though. Like a lot of like some cultures had arranged marriages whereby you are just told you are marrying that man. You know, I don't know how it works. Don't know the story behind all that. But like it was more like it was like hint, like you start seeing someone
Exactly.
and someone tells your dad or your mom, and then your mom go to find out. Like they had a lot of say in it. What's that clan? You know,
Yeah.
are they Christians? What do they believe? What's their culture? There's this thing of, does this clan and this clan marry? You know, there's this thing.
Oh,
of
yeah,
this
yeah,
one
yeah.
of- You know, all
It's
that.
still there now anyway.
Yeah. But they don't have much say.
Exactly.
Like back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they could actually be like, nah,
Yeah.
not happening, and that's it. But now people can be like, well, sorry, you know,
Exactly.
we are getting married without your approval.
That is so true.
Yeah, so
And,
a lot has changed.
Even when it comes to like parents are like arranging, like you said that, and I just remembered, you know, it's interesting because if there are some cultures where I heard that they actually steal a girl. You've ever had such things? They meet you in the river, you are taken. Sorry. And then later you come back with a baby and this man and say, oh, well, it happened. Okay.
When you say steal,
It's true.
I'm just picturing you at the river, you know, back
They
in the day.
kidnap you.
Wow.
You've never had this before?
No, what culture is that?
I'll find out.
I wish
But I've had this before.
So if you're
Guys,
single, go to the river and just...
yeah, linger. And if you've had this before, please comment. I know I've had this from someone, or some people know this.
Culture.
Yeah,
A man
there's
is
people
nodding.
who-
A man is like, yeah, you
it's
get
probably
to-
right? Yeah, Listen, where is George's River?
You
I
need
need to run to George's River.
Someone come and steal Lydia. She'll be there at 2 p.m. today.
Is that how you're just giving me away?
No. I'll give you away.
Okay. I don't even know how to swim. So. Not the river.
Yeah, not the river.
Not the
Oh,
river.
that's interesting. But see, there's a lot that has changed in like
Yeah.
different cultures, but we appreciate both, you know.
Yeah,
Because
that's
times
true.
have changed. Wow. Yeah.
So another thing is it's just to add on what we had said before, like status quo. Like you would look for a man who's got some kind of a status. You know, back then you would look
My
for
father
like
is a chief.
the chief's son. Or back then they used to have, you know, people like Koitalel, Samuel, these people who are prophets and, you know, those seers and all that. And their kids would be, you know,
I actually have
son of
some.
a...
I actually have some friends at work who talk about castes, like they're from the Nepalese community, and they talk about castes, and they say, "Oh, I'm of a higher caste." At first, I was like, "What?" Like, you know, like I'm from a my caste is higher than his, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" You know? Or they will say, "Oh, my parents refused for me to marry this guy because he's of a lower caste," and I'm like, "What?"
Oh, the caste system that...
Yeah, you know, like they have with the family.
Right.
So the families have to agree, or I don't know, or the castes have to be similar or better than, I don't know what it is, but
I see.
like it's still practiced.
Yeah,
in some cultures.
yeah.
It's still practiced.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of say in people's relationships.
That is so true.
But I think it's really sad because, you know, if for example, you know, you want to marry a guy and then the family said, well, you are of, say, lower class. I don't know if caste means class, but I'm just going to assume. Like, you know, if they say, oh, nah, and then, because I think there's some convincing that happens, and then if it happens and you get married, I feel like you'll always hold this against him. You're like, your parents used to, you know, look at me like I'm of a lower caste, you know. Yeah, it shouldn't be the case, but, you know, culture is culture and we have to appreciate it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Leave it as it is.
Yeah. You know, compared to right now, you meet someone, as long as you guys have a connection, that's it.
You meet on TikTok and...
Listen, even people, there are so many people who have relationships that they nurtured online and they work.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yes.
So right now, it's not that
100%.
big of a deal.
Yes, 100%.
It's not about who you are, where you are from, who is, you know, no.
But, you know, it's very interesting because, especially speaking about back home, all this was because, you know, like, even the person, like even the girl, say for instance, getting married to that rich family or politically known family.
Yeah.
Even the girls wanted that. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to be married to that family because there are benefits which come from it. For example, connections. You know, you could network. You could get jobs for your, you know, for yourself. You know, politics. You know, like it was not just for, say, the guy only. It was even for the girl. And a lot of girls wanted a specific man for that specific reason.
Yeah.
You know how we used to watch Nigerian movies and the women from different community or villages would come and dance for the sons.
Exactly. So he
and
can
come
choose.
and show, you know, whatever. Because everybody wants that person. I think it was mainly for the benefit.
Right.
But now, it is what it is. You know, you meet your guy wherever you meet them. If you guys have a connection, that's it. Nobody cares about...
Exactly.
Well, let me not say nobody, because there's some people who...
it's personal. That's what we should say.
Yeah.
The choice is quite personal right now.
Yeah, but also like there are some people who, you know how, let me tell you, there are actually people who, I had a friend who once said to me, when I was single, she was single too. She said to me, I can't marry someone who doesn't have a house in Australia. Dada, she was not even playing. Like she said that, and you know, like I'm not judging her, but I just thought, like I was actually taken aback that there are actually some people who, it's like saying I won't marry a guy who doesn't have a car. Like, you know, what does that got to do with anything? If you think about it, you know, like unless your intentions are not good, then I don't know what that got to do with anything. But yeah, people are, even now, people look for partners who are, you know, have money or drive a Porsche. You know, someone would just say, "Oh, I met this guy." Women are funny.
Description is,
"I met this guy. He drives a Porsche." I'm like, okay, you know, or I met this guy. His dad owns a business. I'm like, okay.
Or I met this guy and I had, you know, on the grapevine that, you know, they are rich.
You know, like, what's that got to do with anything? Because let me tell you something. If he's rich, if he's got money, if he drives a car, a Lamborghini, whatever, that's not gonna love you. Like, that car is not gonna be there for you when you meet that person. You know, it's like even women who, not just men, even women who trap their men, you know, like, I always say, you know, you could trap someone, fall pregnant for them, get that child support. That child support is not gonna hold that baby for you when you're gonna have a shower and the baby's crying or whatever. True. You know, like, anyway, I'm just airing my whatevers. I'm just so deeply invested because I just think it's so messed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but people, even in this generation, I know back in the day people used to do it for status. Now, people actually do it like intentionally.
Yeah, for a connection.
And back in the day, I feel like it was even just a cultural thing. You know, it was not ill-intended. Now, hey.
True.
Yeah. True. So yeah, that's.
With that said, there are people who are like in a good way. They look for pure connection.
Yeah, should say that.
There are people out there who are
genuine.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you meet your genuine mister.
I hope so.
Yes. Let's also talk about submission.
Back then, submission was something else.
Hey,
Back then, I think submission meant, you know how, you know, like you would take your partner's shoes off from, you know, the door, make sure you bring them food, make sure you
wash, they're sitting down, you bring the water and wash their hands while you're kneeling down in some cultures.
Yeah. Submission was more of the things you do for this person to make them feel some type of way.
Okay.
To make them feel like important, loved.
Okay.
But right now, I feel like submission is not that deep. Does it make sense?
Yeah, like I feel like it's still deep, but the definition has changed.
Okay.
Or the approach has changed, right? And just because you don't do certain things for your man, it doesn't mean you're not submitting.
Okay.
Back in the day, they would say, you know, if you don't cook for your man, if you don't clean for your man, if you don't iron for your man, bro, me, if I was in that generation, anyway, if you do what for your man, that means you don't love them, that means you don't respect them, it means you don't submit to them. But now, you can still show love by other ways, you know, like it's not a definition. It doesn't define the kind of relationship you have with your man or your woman, you know. And women now, if I don't cook, it doesn't mean I'm not a good wife.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You know, I don't cook, I don't clean, look at me. Jokes aside. Submission.
Can't believe you wanted to sing that song. You're crazy.
I just thought about it.
Okay.
You know, like men, a man is laughing. You know, like women, we are really, judged is the word, like we are really, people will judge you based on those things even now.
Even now, yeah.
Like, you know, like someone will say, oh, I have to know how to cook chapos so I can get a husband. I have to know how to cook ugali properly. I need to know how to cook meat because he really loves meat. And that was like, because you have to cook for your man to be a submissive wife.
Kwanza mademu kupika chapo tunaona sana nyingi.
It's not a bad thing.
They come for some of us.
They say, you know,
would you kupika chapo?
Huh? Yeah, I saw that on TikTok. Was it on TikTok? Oh
yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, yeah, submission's changed. Like the definition of submission has changed.
Yeah.
And listen, you don't have to cook and clean for someone to prove a point.
Exactly.
These girls out here who are dating and then you just you go and visit someone unakutana na laundry 2 buckets and you be there folding, bro.
And washing clothes and anyway.
Atakuacha. He will still leave you. It's not gonna make him love you more.
Exactly.
I mean, do it if you want to. I'm not saying don't do it for your boyfriend, but like, it's not a measure.
Exactly.
You know, of whether you're a good
Shouldn't be
woman
defining.
or not.
Exactly. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also divorce. You know, back then you would never talk about divorce. What is divorce?
Divorce for who?
Hey.
You stay in your marriage, my friend.
The stigma that comes with divorce.
Okay, it used to be. It's sad, isn't it? It's sad because a lot of relationships actually ended in, you know, homicide and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Because it was like it was the stigmatization of the society.
Yeah.
You can't come out of a abusive relationship because you can't even tell people. You know, like back in the day, some people would even be like, if they are abused physically and it's not so out there, like, you know, this guy or woman bashes you outside in public, people would not even talk about it. People would just quietly, But yeah, I think I love how the approach is now versus then, I should say.
I agree.
When it comes to divorce, because now it's like, if the relationship is not working, bro.
Exactly.
See you
if
later.
it's not serving you anymore, and it is not serving us, it is a personal decision.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? If Sheila and I are not working out and I feel that way, even if you are not feeling that way, I have every right to walk away because it's not working for me.
I really love what you said, because narcissists, they're like, this thing, it's ours. They bash you at night. In the morning, they're like, Aki, let's talk about our marriage. Our marriage, we don't want it to break. And then you are like, like he wants us to stay together. No, sis, no. Yeah. I think I love the society now. I saw something on TikTok where, I think it's in India, where the dad really,
did a whole
big party for her daughter coming home. But it was really nice,
because she was from
and the dad went to get her from that matrimonial home. But the sad part was the comments, man. When I was reading the comments, there were actually people who were saying, oh, you are celebrating divorce, you are encouraging it. I'm like, this is someone who's been in a toxic relationship. And this is a dad who is saying, you know what, my daughter, this is not the end of the world, you can come home. But people actually are, I'm like, what, can people just let people be for a second there,
And then also, this daughter who is getting out of this relationship, this life is not a rehearsal. She's not going to come back again and say, okay, now let me do this right. You understand? This is her life. She doesn't have any other life. So if she can fix things this early and probably find someone, or probably not even want to be in another relationship, good on her.
100%.
It's not about people making such decisions. People, be mindful.
And also, because the same people will be like, oh, I wish she left. Someone should have told her to leave if it would have ended badly. Like, for example, if it would have ended badly, whereby, she was, say, God forbid, fatal. If it was like, if she was attacked and died, or, broken limbs and stuff like that, people will be like, it's so sad, we should encourage our girls to come back home. But now there is a dad throwing a party, and you all are like, he's encouraged. What do you guys want? You know what I mean? Anyway, social media for you. But yeah, I applaud the society right now, because everybody deserves to be happy, You shouldn't be encouraging someone to stay in a toxic relationship. No.
Exactly. And divorce these days is never that serious.
Yes.
It's not that serious.
No, it's not.
You just wake up in the morning. If it's not working for you, it's not working for you. And that's fine. And that's totally fine.
There is also the part where back in the days, women were homemakers, or what do you call them? Housewives, or stay-at-home moms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, versus now.
Right now, women are career women.
I know. It's a good thing.
You know what? I really love that for us. I do. I feel like the playing field is leveled. Honestly, I do. I feel like it's such a good thing that a man can be a housewife these days, or a stay-at-home dad, not a housewife. A stay-at-home dad.
What?
Sorry.
Yeah.
A stay-at-home dad, and he can be present in the life of our children and all that.
Yeah.
Compared to before, you would find that it is expected that the mom is everything to the kids,
and this the dad man is not involved.
Exactly, he's never there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'd give anything to be a stay-at-home mom.
We know that.
I feel like, look, it's a good thing that back in the day, most women stayed at home. I think I'm just jealous of them. You know what I mean? I think now I have, this is the thing, right? A mom doesn't stop being a mom because she's now a career woman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I see.
I feel like that's an added responsibility, because a mom will still want to be a mom. A mom will still want to be present. They still want to spend time with their kids.
Right.
They have things they want to teach their kids. There are places they want to take their kids. But now you're a career mom, like I am, and I have to go to work, and I still be a mom. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's not fair. Back in the days, women stayed home and the dads used to work and provide, which was a good thing. There are pros and cons, you know what I mean? But yeah, I love that dads are more involved, because when you go to work, you kind of give the dad a chance to actually experience how your role is as as a mom. But yeah, I'd love to stay home with Tori.
I'd love that.
I say to my partner all the time, I'm like, I really want to stay home and just bake cookies with my daughter and stuff like that. And he's always like, in 2 days, you'll be like, no, I'm going back to work.
Exactly.
You know, it's nice. It's nice to kind of have both worlds, but I wish, anyway, topic for another day for motherhood and parenting.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I think I appreciate that. I really, when I think about it now, the life of our children or my child is so different compared to me,
Right.
I never had, that's why there's separation anxiety. I never had this separation anxiety because my mom was always home. Like now I'm leaving and my daughter is bawling and I'm like, oh, mommy, and I'm thinking, oh, and sometimes I'm like, she'll be all right because, probably my mom left and I cried when I was young.
Yeah.
And I think, no, my mom never left. My mom was a stay-home mom. So my mom was always there for us. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I've got to go for night shift and I have to put her to sleep before I go. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And then I think, oh, she'll be all right. And then I think, no, my mom never went to work. Like, like an formal employment where she had to leave us. But anyway, I think it's just life, isn't it?
It is. I mean, like for me, my mom was a career mom.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
My mom was
you and I have really
opposite.
Different.
Yeah.
Lydia and I have really different
Really?
experiences, which is really good. Lydia's mom was a career mom. My mom was a stay-home mom.
Yeah.
So,
and I remember, like, how you're saying, like
you cry.
Some people cry and all that. My mom used to tell me that all my sisters, they used to cry when you drop them at school and they are crying. They're like, no, don't leave me. Me, my first day, I was like, yeah, bye.
You're that person. I don't doubt that.
Yeah, bye. And like my brother, who is of course the youngest, he was crying. My mom is like, I'm pulling him out the car. I'm like, Raymond, come, let's go. Like, I would never cry. Like, I never had separation anxiety. So that's funny. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is.
Good experience.
Yeah, another thing that I feel like we need to talk about is, the fact that before, relationships were predominantly either monogamous or polygamous.
Times have
I mean,
changed.
even now, I have friends who come from families where their mother is the third wife.
Oh yeah.
The fourth wife.
Yeah, my grandfather had 4 wives and my grandmother was the youngest fourth. And my mom is the 36th child. My mom is the youngest of all my grandfather's children.
Wow.
Of all the 4 wives. So sometimes, it's like my cousin in Melbourne, Noreen. I always say my cousin, but she should be calling me auntie if we are like to draw the family tree and stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so yeah. But I think it was appreciated back in the days.
Yeah.
Because you just married your wives, but then gave them land everywhere, whatever. Like it was a cultural thing.
And had kids.
Lots of kids. Yeah, like 36. Yeah.
How nice! That is so good.
Yeah, so I have a lot and lots of cousins.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, I think in this conversation today, when we are comparing before and now, a lot has changed when it comes to relationships.
So much.
Oh my God. Like, I really don't even feel like I am the right person to talk about this because there's the LGBTQ community. There's the
QI.
plus. Forgive me, but yeah.
Cultural appropriation.
Like there are people who, there are places where you hear someone has 2 husbands. Like that was
Thropos.
It's just so fluid.
It's so fluid right now.
It's just...
Yeah, it can be anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
like it's what you want it to be.
Exactly.
It's what your marriage is what you want it to be.
You define it yourselves.
Yeah, it's no longer what we knew, like man and woman, or like the match we knew was either polygamy or monogamy.
Exactly.
Now we don't even know. Like we really don't know. It's just what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
These days you just can't assume.
Oh yeah, you can't. Even like the pronouns, you've got to ask someone, how do you want me? If I say Lydia, you got to call me he, it's he.
Exactly.
No questions asked. It doesn't matter how you see me.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, a lot has changed.
So much.
But you got to appreciate the times, eh?
Exactly.
Wow.
Hopefully all change is something that we can all learn to embrace.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good
I think
thing
that's
to
the most
embrace.
important thing from take away from this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Embrace the change. If you're a girl and for some reason you're the one making more money, sis, it's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. If you are a guy and you enjoy being a stay-at-home dad, did you watch our episode with Peter?
Oh, I know. You
Peter
should.
is,
The previous video, you should.
you know, he's a wonderful dad to his son. And I feel like such changes are really, really good to embrace.
Yeah. You don't have to embrace everything, right? Like, you don't have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
You only take, my mom normally says, just take what's positive, and if you think the other things don't work for you, leave it for whoever or
exactly,
you know, whatever culture they're doing. So that's just a few things that we wanted to share about
the changes
that have occurred.
Yeah.
So if you thought about something that we haven't put here,
yes, please.
it would be nice to just, you know, maybe
Tell
ask
us.
your parents what used to happen before. If you have a different view, please comment on the comment section, and then we can take the conversation up from there.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you for
guys.
watching. Thank you for being here. We really enjoyed talking about that. Yeah. It just made us realize that, you know, times have changed.
Exactly.
And as we grow up, our children are going to have a different environment compared to us.
Exactly.
Probably Tori will be talking about, you know, like the way I'm talking about, you know?
Exactly.
Anyway, take care of yourselves, and until next time.
Bye.